Right, welcome to 2025. Boy, is it going to be an exciting year for Flesh and Blood, but let's start off the year, right, with a little bit of fun. So, we've Jarl Vetreiđi, which is actually quite interesting that they're still using the the photo of Jarl Vetreiđi rather than the actual card off the Fab database. Nonetheless, that's not what we're here for. We're here to see how big we can get Summit the Unforgiving, right, in a nice combo showcase just like old, right? So we'll get back into the swing of videos. I've been moving, so things have been put on hold, right? Real life stuff. But hopefully I can start cranking them out again, including catching up with all the hunted cards and the 6 Arachnes. But nonetheless, why don't we see what we can do here with Jarl Vetreiđi. So we do have a little bit of setup. We're going to do this over 3 turns, but we should be able to make Summit nice and juicy. So starting off, we do want to set up some Channel Mount Heroics to then feed into some other cards to then eventually lead to our Summit. So on the board we have 3 Amulets of Earth, Amulet of Ignition, 3 Energy Pots, and 3 Potions of Strength, Plume of the Evergrowth, Earthball Bounty, which is something I did not use last time I looked into pumping Jarl's weapon, and Goliath Gauntlet. So, Channel Mount Heroic, pitch an Earth form, and that covers its flow cost. Beautiful. And then we can put the other one into play as well, and that is our first turn of setup done. So we will pass and continue onwards, right? So we get to send an Earth form to the bottom, right? So that we can prolong our Channel Mount Heroics. Now we have some Emboldens to stack thanks to the Energy Pot. So we'll take a little lick of damage from the bots, and then we get to play 4 Emboldens for a nice juicy pump of damage. So we can crank 2 Energy Pots for 4 resources. Now allow us to play the first Embolden for free. Since we have the Channel Mount Heroics, Embolden does trigger its draw clause, so we do get 1 extra card, which is quite nice, right? And then we can go Embolden, pitch our Earth Form and Autumn's Touch, which covers the upkeep cost of one of the Channel Mount Heroics. We get to draw another card with floating resources, so we play another Embolden, pitch an Autumn's Touch, and then go and do it again, and then that's the other upkeep cost for the other Channel Mount Heroics. So we now have +6 from the Channel Mount Heroics, we have +15 from the Embolden, and +4 from the yellow Embolden. So that's fairly nice. And Oaken Old, I did try to work Mangle and the Jarl's Gauntlets, but it's actually less damage trying to pull it off than go for Oaken Old. Now, since we do have Earthball Bounty, and we have drawn through Embolden, we've also stacked up some Seismic Surge tokens to make our Oaken Old nice and free. So I'll pass, and we'll stick the Oaken Old into our arsenal. And we'll do our Channel Mount Heroics, so 2 cards apiece. So there's 1, and there's the second. Stick the Oaken Old into the arsenal. Now, talk a big game. I really want to make use of this card, right? In a proper game, you can still get decent value out of it, but we are going to take it to the absolute extreme with our nice, hugely pumped Oaken Old. So we'll take our lick of damage, and then we can start cranking. So we're starting off with what did I say? It was 6. +15, so 21, 25. So we're at +25 for Oaken Old so far. We'll throw the Goliath Gauntlet on that, right? So that's an extra +2. We'll crank the Strength Potions for an extra +6, right? Yeah, 2 apiece, 2 apiece. Beautiful. And then we don't have to pay for Oaken Old since we had the Seismic Surge tokens. Once we fuse, we can crank the Amulets of Earth as well. And basically, we're feeding all of these buffs into our Talk a Big Game. Now, fortunately, Talk a Big Game has a cap here on Talishare. So we can only pick a number between 1 and 20 when we are going to do a bit more damage than that. So let me do some math, right? What did I say? It was 25 plus the 3 Strength Pots, so that's 31, plus the Amulets of Earth, that's 34, plus the Goliath Gauntlet, so that's 36, plus Oaken's Olds 2, so 38. So we're doing 45 damage. Now, how much do we want to say the opponent could reasonably block? It will have Dominate. You know what? Screw it. We'll do 45. So if I want to do 45 across all the Talk a Big games, I will need an extra 3. So we are going to cheat a little bit and double them up just because, again, I can't select more than 20 damage, even though we are definitely going to present more than 20 damage. So was it Heavy Hitters 1? Oh, it's a little bit tiny. 3/6. Please give me the right card. Nope. Okay. What did I do wrong? Oops. I don't think you can undo giving yourself a card, can you? No, you can. Beautiful. They did go back to the Potion of Strength. That's fine. And we swap the V and the Y, right? God. Is it? I think it's sensitive. Anyway, there's 1 extra copy of Talk a Big Game. So 2, 3, and then it would be an extra 15, right, for us to get the correct amount of might tokens. So yeah, so we go 20 off the first one, right? So again, 0 and 20 instead of 0 and, well, 45 in this case. 0 and 50 would be nice. What's the highest feasible damage you could probably do? Yeah, probably 0 to 50 would be better, right? But there's our 3 pseudo, right? And then we'll do Talk a Big Game for another 20. So imagine the first Talk a Big Game, we clicked 45. So in total, we're doing 90, right? 45, 45, no, we're doing more than that. 20, and then 15 for the last one should be the correct amounts of might tokens if we were to land our entire damage from Oaken Old. Now, obviously, they're going to proc because we did it over 7 Talk a Big Games and selected 20 instead of selecting 45 on the 3 of them. But nonetheless, here is our nice big damage. So Oaken Old presents our Crumble to Eternity for our fusion. Beautiful. Pass. And then crank our Amulets of Earth to make sure it hits that 45, the number we would have selected, if we could select the correct number for Talk a Big Game. Oh, doesn't like big numbers sometimes. If I click pass, no, we'll just have to wait out. There we go. So 43, 44, and 45. So, yeah, that's already sizable. Not enough to OTK, right? 45 would dominate. I wouldn't say is enough to OTK, but still a nice start. So 45, and what we really want is all those juicy, juicy might tokens. So 45 by 3 is 90, 135, if my math was correct, right? Is how many might tokens we should get. Let's see. We ended up with, yep, 135. Beautiful. So then we can pass, we can stick Crumble to Eternity into our arsenal, and now we can feed all these might tokens into our weapon. Summits, the truly unforgiving, pumped with 135 damage, but that's definitely not enough, right? We can go higher than that. So close that. And of course we have Thrives. Take our 2 damage, and let's see how big we can get this summit. So we need to Amulet of Ignition first, right? And then we can't actually Angipot, so what we need to do is play Thrive, because once we activate an ability, that will consume the Amulet of Ignition. That is right there, right? So then we go Plume to grab back the Thrive. Only costs us 2. Beautiful. No, I can Angipot for the tome. Yeah, we're fine. So Thrive, pass, get back. Then we crank the Angipot. That puts us back to 3. We Tome of Harvest to get rid of the Crumble to Eternity. That gives us enough resources to play our Summit and our Thrives, right? So we're doing 4 Thrives into 135 might tokens into our swing. The swing itself has +2. +2 does get amplified by Thrive as well, right? So it's kind of nice on Summit. Anthros, again, you know, you're paying less for the same stat line, right? It's 4 +2 as well. Yeah. The more I think about Summit, it's not that fantastic. Sure, you have the option to take a shield, but I don't think it should have been 6 cost, right? Yeah. Anyway, here's our nice big weapon swing for 685 damage. Yeah, that'll do nicely, right? Nice big summit. Well, there we go. That's what I want to show off. Yeah, so if you're new to the channel, right, give us a subscribe. It's free. But this is basically what we do. We look for memey, pretty unrealistic, but fun things to pursue. And heck, Jarl better than anyone can definitely take a nice, you know, defensive line of Guardian / life gain. There's some stuff with life gain that I'd like to look into, right, on a nice stooly deck that has a payoff like that, but obviously not as big, because you definitely don't need, 685 damage, right, with the weapon swing. But anyway, opponent should be dead. Not that we can tell anymore, because the counter no longer moves, but our damage was what? 45 and 685 for a total of 730. That's actually pretty sizable in comparison to combos nowadays, relative to, you know, all the draw being cut out. Yeah, Living Legends, where all the fun's at. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and welcome to the new year. Excited to see what's in store for Flesh and Blood. Hope you are too. Yeah.